Hi, in this video I'm going to talk to you about pyramids of biomass. Again, this is part of B7 ecology. This shouldn't take too long actually. Let's start with the meaning of biomass. This is literally the mass of living material in an organism or a group of organisms. Okay, that's just a reminder of what biomass means. So pyramids really is a way of interpreting food chains. Okay, so we do this because, well, let's have a look at a food chain here. We've got dandelions, rabbits, and foxes. Okay, so if we have 100 dandelions being eaten by 10 rabbits and 1 fox, that seems pretty straightforward, and you can make a pyramid of numbers out of that quite well. But the pyramid soon becomes misshapen if you include another consumer in that, in this case fleas feeding on the fox. We would have 100 dandelions, 10 rabbits, 1 fox, but 500 fleas. Normally you can see that the number of organisms involved in the trophic level of a food chain actually reduces as you go up the food chain. But in this case you can see that that decreases and then it increases again. So the number of fleas is greater than the 1 fox before it. So what we can do instead of looking at numbers in that case is we can look at the actual biomass of the animals involved, and we can make a pyramid that looks a little something like this. We've got dandelions as our biggest bar here. This is trophic level 1. This is the producer. The rabbits are a smaller bar because there's less of them. That's trophic level 2. And that's a primary consumer, so they've got less biomass. Trophic level 3 is the fox, again, just one animal, so much less biomass than the 2 before it, the secondary consumer. And the tertiary consumer, the fleas that we've put on top, because they're tiny, even though there's 500 or more of them, at trophic level 4, it's a very, very small bar. Okay, sometimes you may be asked to actually do this in a more mathematical way. So here we've got a rose bush fed on by aphids, which in turn are fed on by ladybirds, and then an individual wren, a small bird that feeds mainly on invertebrates and insects. So we can see here that we've got the exact amount of biomass: 2,000 grams for rose bush, 400 grams for the aphids, 150 grams for ladybirds, and 18 grams for the wren. I apologise for not having a graph paper here, but if this was presented on graph paper, the bars would be very specific amounts. That would be 1 millimetre, that's one small square on graph paper would equal 20 grams, which would, in an exam question, means you could actually put this out quite accurately on graph paper if you use this scale. Okay, so if here we have a way to calculate a ratio as well. So using graph paper again, if aphids equal 20 squares on the graph paper and the rosebush equals 100 squares, as they do with these numbers here, or as they would on graph paper, then the ratio of aphids to the rosebush would equal 1 to 5, because 100 divided by 20 is 5. Thank you.